And welcome to Qigong and our powerful energy balancing practices. It's our opportunity to rebalance our energy and reclaim our vitality. Let's just take a moment to arrive. Take a moment to notice. Let's just start with the breath. Are you breathing with effort or ease? Noticing any sensations in your body, what's right here, right now. Noticing your tension level. Is it high or is it low today? Or somewhere in between? Noticing your energy level. Are you wired, tired, or in that just right zone? And just noticing your posture. Are you leaning a little forward or over to one side? Simply noticing. And noticing your mood. And let's begin our practice. We're going to begin with a gentle bounce. And our bounce comes from our knees, a little flexion and extension of the knees. So we bend our knees, then we lengthen, bend and flex. And we just go at our own pace. Through this practice today, just a reminder, go at your own pace, your own rhythm. And if you notice that something is challenging for you, adapt it, adjust it. Follow the pace and rhythm of your body. And as we do this bouncing, we activate the chi. We get the energy flowing. We lubricate the joints, the muscles, the tendons. We get the lymph flowing. The lymph needs movement to flow. Let's bring our hands above our head if that's available. At any height. This is a great way to open up the lungs, open up the heart, open up the channels that begin or end in our hands. This gentle bouncing, relaxing the wrists. This is a great way to get the chi flowing, to open up the channels. And our goal is to release energy blockages, energy imbalances, energy disturbances. And we do that through movement, through the breath, through postures, visualization, vocalization. Lots of different ways we can come back into balance and flow. So let's just give a little bit of a shake out here, sweeping away any of those blockages, getting the energy unstuck and moving and flowing in harmony. Shaking it out and bouncing. This is a great way to ease tension, release stress. During the activation phase, we can breathe in through the nose and some detoxifying breaths through the mouth. And when we do any vocalization, that's a great way to connect with the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve, when we switch it on, that's our calming switch, our reset button. So let's just release the shake for a moment, continue to bounce. So we'll do some different vocalizations. We'll do side out breaths. We can yawn, we can hum, we can chant, we can sing. All of that helps connect. The vagus nerve is connected to those vocal cords. So what a great way to activate the vagus nerve and support our vagal tone. So let's bring our arms around the body. Again, paying attention to what works for you. The bouncing is a practice all on its own, activating the chi, moving the lymph, detoxifying. And we can add a little bit of a turn if that works for your spine. And the spine loves movement, gentle movement. And we can slow it down. It's a nice little turn. You get a little bit of movement in the spine, and we have energy points that are along the spine and beside the spine. So we're opening them up. We're activating the flow of energy through the spine, supporting our brain. And this is a nice little turn. This is great for the organs. It's just like a little gentle massage, a turn. And then slowly release the turn. Slowly release the arms. A little bit more bouncing here. Any sound to just release, detoxify. Beautiful. Let's just slowly release the bounce. And then if you have water or tea, that's a great thing to stay hydrated, to get the energy flowing throughout your energy practice today. So let's do a little bit of tapping. And tapping, we're just going to do it right now for some energy toning as we connect with these acupressure points. We're going to tap the top of the head. And this is a yang meeting point. And it's really fascinating. There are 7 meridians that are yang meridians that go through the head, and only 1 yin meridian, and that's the central, and it just basically ends at the chin level. So we're connecting with this yang energy as we tap on this point. This is a vitality point, and it's a gentle tapping. If you don't like tapping, there's alternatives. You can rub that area, or you can hold that area, maybe just for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, as long as it feels good. Then we come to inside the eyebrows, and that's a bladder point. And the bladder meridian, it connects with our nervous system. So we're tapping on those bladder points here, and this helps the energy to flow down the back of the body. It's a big, long meridian. And then just on the eye bone, give a little bit of a tap here. We're connecting with the triple warmer and the gallbladder meridians. And then underneath the eyes, on the cheekbone. And this is on the stomach meridian. This helps the energy to flow down the front of the body. And this is a really grounding point. When our stomach meridian gets out of balance, sometimes we get, caught in our head and worry and ruminating. So we can tap this point, we can hold this point, rub this point to bring calm to the stomach meridian. Tapping underneath the nose, this is a beautiful calming point. Underneath the mouth, that little indentation there. We just tap maybe 10 times. I just kind of estimate, I go, oh, that feels good. Then I move on to the next one. The next point is just below the head of the collarbone, that little dip outside the sternum. You can tap it, you can rub it, you can hold it. My microphone's there, so I may just rub that for a moment. And that's the end of the kidney meridian. Kidney 27. This is a huge vitality point. And then we tap on the sternum. Now my microphone's in the way. You can tap on the sternum, rub the sternum. This is a great way to activate the thymus gland, supporting our immune system, supporting, us if we have an infection. Let's move out to the end of the collarbone and just inside the inseam. I don't know, we're about 3 finger widths. There's no exactness here. I'm just aiming for the area. And this is the beginning of the lung meridian. And the lung meridian's all about letting go. We receive the breath and we release the breath so that we can make space for the next breath. And this is interesting because we're tapping the beginning and the end of the lung meridian. So this is the path of the lung meridian, this area going all the way to the thumb. So on the other side, it's a bilateral meridian. And as we tap here, we're tapping the beginning and the end of that meridian. And that's really powerful to do that. And let's tap underneath the chest. And I'm on the rib cage here. I'm connecting on the right side with liver neurolymphatics, so detoxifying. The left side, I'm connecting with the stomach, so supporting digestion. And we can tap those, we can rub those, we can hold those points. Beautiful. And then we can place one hand behind our head and we can cup right here on the end of our spleen meridian. And this is called spleen 21. It's the end of the spleen meridian. This is super powerful for our immune system, our blood system, metabolism. And then we can go on the other side, cupping these bilateral meridians. And then we're going to place our left hand behind our head. And this is a beautiful calming point right here on our occipital ridge. And this is calming to the nervous system. We connect with several meridians, in particular, the bladder meridian, to bring some calm to the nervous system. So we're going to start by cupping underneath our left underarm as we connect with the beginning of the heart meridian, deep within the underarm here, heart 1. And then we're going to just tap all the way down. We're going to do that 2 more times. And then going to the other side, placing that hand and it's light on the back of the head, calming the back, calming the nervous system. And just cupping the underarm. My hand has a nice cup to it, connecting with that heart meridian. We're in this activation phase here. And then let's bring our hand down, and one more time. Beautiful. Let's cup the top of our head. We've already worked with this point tapping. We're going to do a gentle cupping. And this is a great way to bring that energy down. I talked about all that yang energy in our head, especially when we get overthinking. So this is just a gentle way to bring that energy down. This is a beautiful vitality point. And this is, the top of our crown chakra here. Now, placing one hand over your forehead, we have these calming points, 1 finger width above our eyebrow, in line with the center of the eye, so that area right here. And we're going to use our whole hand and we're going to hold it lightly. These are emotional stress release points, so calming to the system. And this is one way to hold them. And we can also hold the back of our head at the occipital ridge. We'll just take a moment for calm here to calm the nervous system. This is something that you could do in bed, where you're just gently holding it lightly and breathing. As we breathe in, we allow the belly to expand. As we breathe out, we release and let go. We can do that for 3 or 5 or 10 minutes. Beautiful. And we're going to leave that hand at the front, releasing our hand from the back. And let's cup our occipital ridge. As we connect with these points, we connect with the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the throat. Just a gentle, gentle cupping. And then we're going to rub C7. And C7 is this bony protrusion on our spine, and it's basically where our torso and our neck meet. If you have any issues with that area, you simply hold it. If you don't, you can give it a nice rub or you can give it a gentle squeeze. So just notice that. This is a great way to get the energy flowing between the spine and the brain. It can get congested in that little area. So just giving it a nice little rub. And then let's clap our hands together. As we clap our hands together, we activate the 6 channels that begin or end in our hands, in our fingers. We can rub them together, activating that energy. And then we can take those hands and give a little bit of a rub to our tailbone area, our sacrum area, our kidney areas, or take our knuckles and do that. Or simply hold it if we have any issues with our back. So just notice what feels good. We can also do a loose fist and tap tailbone, sacrum, kidney area. Notice what's best for you and your body. This is a great way of tapping into our vitality. As we move through here, this is a vitality center. It's also supportive of our nervous system, especially when we rub our sacrum area. This is very supportive of calming our nervous system. This supports our reproductive organs, our spine, our brain. So this is something you want to do several times a day. Rub it, tap it, hold it. Tap into your vitality, your longevity. Beautiful. And let's do a little bit of a tap on our hip points, our hips. Our hip bone is there, and we just go to the soft spot there. And just know that you can do these practices seated or standing. And with a lot of creativity, you could even do these lying down. So this is opening up the channels, moving from the feet and up from the feet. It also helps support hip or sciatica issues. We're going to cup the front of the knees. If you have balance issues, you can do this seated. Otherwise, tap front of your knees, opening up those channels that run through the legs, cupping the back of the knees. And I find this very calming as it connects with the bladder meridian. And then we're going to cup inside and outside our left knee. And I just do it for, as long as it feels good. And then right knee. We're just activating the chi, activating the energy. And slowly standing up. Let's do a few hip circles here. We're making space for energy to flow. And we get clogged a lot from sitting. So this area, our hips, this whole area gets clogged when we sit so much. We're making space for energy to flow. And let's go in the other direction. So there's 6 meridians that begin or end in your feet. And you'll notice as you do this, that you can feel it through your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, through your torso. And we're just opening up those points for energy to flow. And let's just take a pause here and take a little sip of water. Take a moment to notice. And we're going to continue on with some more activating exercises here. So let's do this one where we place one finger above and below our lip. It doesn't really matter which fingers you use. You can press these points, you can rub across these points, or you can simply rub those points right there. We're going to place our other hand over our navel. So this is a great way of switching on our brain. We connect with our main energy center here in Qigong, which is our lower dantian, deep behind our navel. We're connecting with many energy centers through this practice today. And as we do this rubbing or holding, we have our eyes look up to the sky and then down to the earth. And we do that several times, and we can even look in the corners of our room, up to the sky and down to the earth, and from the earth up to the sky. So we're just going up and down with our eyes. And as we do that, we release that lock that we get in our eyes when we're under stress. We also are helping to switch on our brain. That helps us walk up and down stairs. The next one is rubbing the points, K27, and place a couple of fingers here, place our hand over our navel. And then with this one, again, we want to release that lock that we get in our eyes when we're under stress. And we're going to have our eyes look from left to right, right to left. We can do it through the midline. We are going through the midline. We can do it high. We can do it, at eye level, and we can go down low. So we're just going back and forth with our eyes along that line of up high, medium, and low. And you'll notice as you rub these points and you move the eyes, we start to bring more ease to our body. And this is super important to rub these points and have our eyes move through the midfield for everything that we do. Driving, we have to be able to scan from right to left, left to right. When we're reading, when we're writing, when we're working on our computer, when we're cooking, when we're, crafting, we need our eyes to be able to flow smoothly. So this is a super important point to rub and have our eyes move smoothly through the midfield. One last one we're going to do is rub our tailbone and sacrum area. We've been here already. And this helps to switch us on from back to front. So helps us like back up our vehicle. And if I had a mirror in front, I'd look in the mirror and kind of look behind me. I don't have a mirror in front. So we can do different things with our eyes. So let's just start by making a clockwise circle in one direction and then a counterclockwise circle the other direction. And making your eyes go around this big, big clock, the size of your room. Going slowly, remembering to breathe through these movements, and then go in the other direction once you've got to the top of the clock. Beautiful. And then let's do one last thing with our eyes as we rub this area, as we know this is a vitality area for us. And we can even switch hands if that feels better for you. Just notice. And I'm going to have my eyes look in a figure 8 pattern. And I'm going to start going up to my left and then through the center and then up to my right. So it may look different for you. So having your eyes move up to the left, making a big figure 8 with your eyes, keeping your head steady, coming through the midline, and then going up to the right. Do that a couple of times. And this is a great way to release tension in your eyes. This also helps release tension in your face. Switching on our brain, helping us to move and learn and work. All right, we're going to end in the center here. Beautiful. So those are the 3 switches that are helpful for learning and working and moving and being. Let's continue on. We're going to do a bit of a cross crawl movement. You can do this seated or standing. And we're just going to touch our hand to our opposite knee. So just a gentle cross crawl movement. You can do this seated or standing, getting this cross lateral movement. And then I almost like to bring it into a figure 8. As we cross through the midline, we help our brain and our body connect. And you can do this for a minute or two. The slower you go, the more powerful it is. So slowing it down. Kids like to go fast, so then you speed it up again, slow it down. This beautiful cross-lateral movement. And then we'll take a pause. Then we're going to take one hand on our opposite shoulder. We can even give a little rub to this point. This is a beautiful acupressure point. And pull it through over to our opposite hip. Now my microphone's in the way. Give a little rub here, pull it through to the opposite hip. So then we can just pull it through this beautiful cross-lateral movement. I even like to give a little bit of a sway to the body here. Beautiful. This cross-lateral movement is helpful for the brain-body connection. And then let's pause here. And we're going to do something called the belt flow. As I said, when we get seated or when we're sitting all the time, we get this area here clogged and the energy doesn't flow that smoothly. So let's smooth the energy by bringing our hands right through the midline, and we can bring our hands above and below. And let's do that several times where we're just smoothing through. You can rake it, you can smooth it. It's very calming as you go through that sacrum tailbone area. You're connecting with bladder points, you're calming the nervous system. And then we can even take that and go off the opposite foot and pull that off. It's not necessary, that's just a little fun thing to do. And then on the other side, again, we're just smoothing through here or raking through here, above and below the navel, calming to the nervous system, smoothing the energy flow. And then we can bring it off the opposite foot. Wonderful. Let's do something called a crown pull. It works with opening up the head, especially if you get ruminating in thoughts or you feel like you're just stuck in the energy of the head. This is a beautiful practice to do. So we take our fingers into our forehead and we do a gentle press and we just pull them out to our temples. Let's do that 3 times where we press in and we pull out to our temples. And one more time. And if you have a headache, this is a lovely practice to do. And then what we're going to do is go all the way along the midline of our head and pull out. Now, you only need to pull out about an inch or so. If you prefer, you can pull all the way to the ears if that feels better, or try a combination of that. Just the way my part is, I'm going to just pull it out a little bit. So pressing in, pulling out, pressing in, pulling out, and keep going all the way. We're going to go down the back of our head. And even along the neck, we're just going to be a bit mindful when we get to the neck area. You can just almost take your hands a little bit lighter, pull out. We connect with the vagus nerve as we do that. Just a gentle pull out. Now, we do that at least 5 times that we, press in, pull out, we go all the way. We do that 5 times. And that really helps the head to get unclogged. It helps a headache. It helps when you're feeling a lot of thoughts are just flowing through. So that's a beautiful practice just to press in. Let's do it one more time where we push in and pull out. This also helps the abdominal muscles. We're helping the cerebral spinal fluid. We're making space for energy to flow. We can pull it all the way out or just a little bit. And then we can pull along the neck. Beautiful. And let's place, this is kind of a fun one. We place one finger, our middle finger, in our navel, and we do a little pull up on that. And then we place our other hand, 3 fingers I like to use, right in between our eyebrows at gallbladder, no, it's governing vessel 24.5. And this is a calming point here. This connects with the pituitary, the pineal gland. This is an emotional balancing point. So pulling up on both of them, and my hand that's on my forehead is light, and yet it's pulling up. So we're pulling up on these 2 points. This is central vessel 8. There's a lot of nerves around the navel area. This is super helpful for calming the nervous system. A great one to do before you even get out of bed in the morning. You can do this for 1, 2, 3 minutes. We're going to do it just for a few moments, breathing in mindfully and breathing out. Beautiful. And that's a beautiful practice just to calm the nervous system. Let's just come up and create some hearts around us, pulling the energy up and around, out into our fields, these beautiful hearts. Wonderful. We're going to do a breath practice. The breath is one of our best ways to come back into presence. Our breath is also supportive of our well-being, our wellness. And when we do intentional breathing, this is one of the greatest ways to support our health, physical and mental health. So this is called the breath of the universe. We're going to place our hands in front of our navel, and this is our lower dantian in Qigong. And it's our main energy center, our vitality center in Qigong. Interestingly enough, there's a vitality center all the way through. For this movement, what we do is we open up our hands to receive our breath of the universe. We close our hands to release and let go. And then what we can do is add some kidney chi strengthening here by bending our knees to open and then extending to release and let go. So this flexion and extension of the knees. So let's just get the knees working here with the hands. And then our shoulders are soft, our elbows are guiding here. Our hands are doing the sensing. Let's slow it down. So earlier we did the breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth to detoxify. Now we breathe in and out through the nose. This is one of the best ways to calm the nervous system, is to breathe in and out through the nose, to slow the breath down. And if we're under stress, sometimes we can't get that inhale very fully. When we're under stress, focus on the exhale. So breathing in, we receive the breath of the universe. Breathing out, we release and let go. Again, I just focus on the exhale when I'm feeling stress or anxious, overwhelmed. Let's slow it down as we slow the body down. We slow the breath down. And we can place our tongue on the roof of our mouth, on the fleshy part that connects our front and our back channels. As we breathe in, we expand the belly. As we breathe out, it releases and let go. So it's an expansion, and you'll notice it's 360 degrees. My whole torso expands on the inhale. Our lungs expand 360 degrees. And you'll notice the expansion in the spine, the torso. Let's do this mindfully for a few moments. This receiving the breath of the universe, releasing the breath of the universe, knowing that when we release, we're making space for the next breath. We don't hold on. Going slowly, breathing in and out through the nose. If we put a gentle smile on our face, we activate our endorphins, we relax our body, we can activate our vagus nerve, turning on that calming switch. Let's do this mindfully for a few moments. Breathing in, and I am breathing out. I am receiving the breath, and I am releasing the breath. We could do this for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes. This is a beautiful practice all on its own. The expansion, the contraction, the receiving, the releasing of the breath. Feeling it deep down into the abdomen. And on your next exhale, we'll pause the movement. Just taking a moment to notice the breath. Notice how you feel after doing some intentional breathing. Let's bring our hands together at heart center. And we'll do one more Qigong movement. And as we connect our hands, we connect the meridians. We can even gently press into heart center, a calming point, an emotional balancing point right in the middle of your sternum. And let's stretch one hand up to the heavens and one hand down to the earth. My palms are touching the heaven and the earth. On the inhale, on the exhale, we bend our knees, bring our hands together, and then stretch up again, making space for energy to flow. So going at your own breath pace, stretching, connecting, breathing in and out through the nose, tongue on the roof of your mouth or behind your top front teeth. As we connect, as we lengthen and make space, this is a gentle movement. Let the breath guide you. One more time each side. Again, something you can do for several minutes. And then bringing our hands to heart center. We can pause the movement here, or we can do a little gentle lean over if that feels good, a little bow. Just allowing the back to stretch out a little bit. You just notice what works best for you. We stay here for a breath or two, just that expansion. And then crossing our hands in front with a little weave. Just weaving as we slowly stand up. Weaving through. And then opening up your hands. It's like you're outside under a beautiful starry night. There's a full moon, or perhaps during daylight and a big, beautiful sun. And then you bring all the beautiful blessings of the universe down into your system, grounding you. And then let's come straight up and make a big heart around us. Beautiful. And just check in with the breath, check in with the body. And you can do this next practice seated or standing. I'm going to do it standing, and then I'm going to do another form of it seated. So crossing your right ankle over your left ankle, and then thumbs down, your right arm wrist over your left arm wrist, and bring that into heart center. Now that's where my microphone is. If you find that challenging with the arms, then simply make a little butterfly on your sternum here. And I'm just going to hold mine out a little bit from the body. Otherwise, you can bring your hands in. And let's do this for a couple of breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Tongue on the roof of your mouth. Connecting front and back channels. Expansion of the belly on the inhale. And then contraction, releasing and letting go on the exhale. And you can do this one in bed to help you sleep, to help you calm your nervous system. Super helpful. Releasing the hands and releasing the feet. Now you can do it on the other side. I'm just going to do it on one side, and one side is enough. And to finish it off, we bring our fingertips together. Now I'm going to pause this movement for a moment and show you one of my favorite ones that's connected to this seated. So let's just hold our fingertips together as I'm gathering my stool here. And if you don't have a stool, then you can do this on a chair that doesn't have any arms on it so that you have a little bit of space for this movement. So to finish off this movement, we bring our fingers, our thumbs to our sternum. If we do a little bit of a press in the center of our sternum, that's our heart chakra. It's also right in the center is called central vessel 17. It's our sea of tranquility. It's a calming point. It's emotional balancing point, and it helps with our breath. So pause there for a moment, and I'm going to grab my chair. Get back a little ways here. Let's just see if you can see me here. So for this movement, I bring one foot up on my knee. So only if this works for you. So I have one foot on my opposite knee. And what I do is I take one hand and put it over my ankle. So I create a little plus sign, one hand over my ankle, my other hand over the bottom of the foot. And on the inhale, I gently pull my foot and I lengthen my body. And on the exhale, I push it away and I release and let go. So just do this, I'm going to say 6 or 8 breaths. If you're feeling panic or high anxiety, you can do this for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. This is a great way to unscramble your energy. I've had 2 panic attacks in my life, and I did not know this technique for the first one. For the second one, I did know this technique. And what I did was I went to an area by myself and I did this technique. It's called the cook's posture. And I did this for about 10 or 15 minutes, and it took all of my panic away. So this is powerful. You notice that my arms are crossed here. This is a cross over here. We're doing a little bit of stretching through the pelvis, through the foot. We're connecting with acupressure points. We can do this for several minutes to calm our system. And then we can go and do it on the opposite side, again for several minutes. I'm just going to do this for 3 breaths, where I lengthen and release. Sometimes just 6 breaths on each side is enough to bring calm to the system. Again, that, belly expansion on the inhale, releasing and letting go on the exhale. And we can have our tongue on the roof of our mouth and breathing in and out through our nose. To finish this movement, we do the same. We bring our fingertips together and we press our fingers into our heart center, or you can have them off the body. We're connecting those meridians. We're holding them lightly. And this is a beautiful way to bring calm and regulation to your system. And we would hold this for 6 or 8 breaths as well. So I'm starting to feel a little bit of circulation, some pulsing with my fingers. And let's slowly bring our practice to a close. First of all, by checking in. What's your breath like? Are you breathing with effort or ease? Noticing your tension now. Is it high? Is it medium? Is it low? Noticing your energy. Are you tired, wired, or a little bit more in that just right zone? What's your posture like? Where are you leaning? Where's your focus? Noticing your mood. And we come back into just noticing, and I feel so much more ease in my body. I feel a lightness, spaciousness. So let's rub our hands together. We bring our hands along the sides of our nose, across the forehead, through the temples, and we just drew a heart on our face. Let's do that 2 more times. Soothing and smoothing. We're working with acupressure points. We're working with neurovascular calming points that are all over our head. 1 more time. We can do that for several minutes. I love that. That feels so comforting, so soothing. And then bringing your fingertips to your scalp. You can go all the way back. And if you find that's a challenge, then simply just smooth your palms from front to back all the way down to your neck. We can make some soothing sounds. Some vocalizations. Just smoothing as we connect with those neurovascular points. Let's do a little bit of vitality practices here. So if you have earrings on, be mindful. We're going to rub our ears, unfurl our ears, tug out on our ears. I'm just watching that I don't tug on my earrings. And this is a great overall balance. This supports our kidney chi energy. It's a great way to connect with the meridians. There are so many acupressure points on our ears, inside and outside, all around. My ears are warming up. It's circulating, which is great. We've got the energy flowing. We can even do a little bit of a turn to help support our neck, to release some tension in our neck. Give a little tug, and then we can turn in the other direction. Nice way to release some tension from our neck. Maybe a little bit of a rake on the scalp can be soothing, like you're shampooing your hair. As we connect with those acupressure points and neurovascular points, we can even do just a little gentle smoothing of the neck, connecting with the vagus nerve. Beautiful. And let's rub our tailbone, our sacrum, our kidney area to connect with our vitality. Just noticing how you feel now. And we place one hand at heart center, on the center of our sternum, our other hand over our navel. These are 2 beautiful calming points as we connect with the breath. And perhaps we set an intention for our day ahead. And may your day flow with ease and balance and harmony. I'm Paula Nowak, so grateful that you joined me today.